What's going on, guys? Too Low Tony here. Got Alex back here
What's up?
again. Working on the WRX today. What we about to do?
Bypass valve.
New bypass valve. Fabworks made a new one. Got the sick engraving on it. Ignore my dogs barking in the background. It might be the whole video. But yeah, we're gonna throw this on real quick. So let's do that.
Nice.
Yeah. I'll pop the gasket in, and then it'll go. I gotta put the little plug guy in there first. The sealing on there. Close that so it don't dry out more. Straight up.
Straight up.
Pop that guy in there. So weird, it's like with the angle of the starting it. Put these guys in.
That's gonna look super clean, just all integrated like that.
Yeah.
Especially black. I think the black will look better than the billet one that was on there too.
Yeah, that's why like when I sent it back, I was like, send me a black one.
Nice.
It's like I messed up by saying billet.
Yeah. I don't think the billet looked bad, but
No, I
with
just
the
feel like the black
lid,
like looks more like cohesive with the lid.
yeah, exactly.
It looks like it's just part of it.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of what I was thinking. You got some secrets in there.
Just don't worry about those. That's for when I'm ready to buy a new engine.
Yeah.
Where did I put the hose? Oh, here it is.
Right there. Black hose.
How did it perfectly hit the mic?
I don't know.
Oh, dude, this is gonna be such a pain to freaking feedback there.
So, where does it route to?
The boost control solenoid in the back.
Oh, it's in the back.
Yeah.
That's gonna be real fun to get through there.
Yeah, it's gonna go all the way underneath here. Alright, we got the bypass valve all bolted on, the tube ran here. This bypass valve is super cool. You don't have to run any hoses to it, except for if you're doing boost control. So it pulls vacuum from inside there, and then when you don't want boost, this opens up and lets you bypass the runners inside the supercharger with the air, so it doesn't make boost. So you can also use it for boost control and bypass a little bit to make less boost. Basically like a wastegate for a supercharger. Pop this guy back on.
Looks sick on there, I'm not gonna lie.
Yo. Then we'll throw the supercharger bolts in. That's the one. Alright, now we're gonna torque all these lid bolts to 7 foot-pounds. Now we're going to torque all the supercharger bolts to 22 foot-pounds. Okay. Good to go. Alright. Hook this line up. This goes to the boost controller behind the supercharger. It's going to go right to that plug. A little bit. Well, that cut great.
Yeah,
A bit longer. And push it up into there. That runs pretty clean.
that's actually pretty good.
Now we got boost control under the car. Anyway,
Anyway,
I got this press here. We're gonna press in these cob diff bushings into the subframe. They say front and back somewhere. Yes, that's the front. So go something like that. Alright, so we got the bushings in here. Super easy. They went right in.
Quick and easy.
Only reason we didn't record it is because I would have rained out a battery on every single battery I have for my camera. That was the hardest bushing install I've ever done. That sucked. Use like a bolt washer to pull it through, and then use the ball joint press to get it through the rest of the way. But it was a royal pain. Don't do this.
Space.
I might go grab the proper bolts for it. I think they're the same thread. We can just use new. Okay.
Get this in.
Holy shit. This thing's no longer no-wheel drive.
Right?
We got the axles.
Nice. Solid dismount. Yeah, those look like they're rated for 1,000 foot-pounds.
These are brand new 1,000 horsepower axles. You can tell because they're about 3/4 of an inch around. Alright, so I got scammed on eBay. Bought these axles. They were supposed to fit my car. I'm pretty sure they're from a wide body. So Jacob came through. He had these sitting in his house. These ones will actually fit. So shout out Jacob. We're going to throw them in. Alright, it's the next day. Alex left, but we got the rear axles in. This side and the other side are both in. I finished up the wiring. I didn't record it because it was really long and tedious, but anyway, basically, pop this cover off real quick. Okay, so don't mind the labels being upside down. I labeled them before I mounted the box. Anyway, so all these pull power from these fuses here. I need to swap these ones out to 30s, but I only had 20s, so anyway, they all pull power from that. The water pump and these two fans are already wired into the Haltech as turn-on wires. So those are with the factory ones, and then the chiller fan and the AC compressor I have on ground side switch. So some of these wires run up underneath the fender through the grommet into the side, and then I have this power stud here, and all these get power off of that. So basically all that stuff's wired in. Water pump works, the fan works. I can show you guys that right now. Key it on, and then we hit fan. You guys can hear they're on. Everything's good there. So yeah, all that works. It's just a tedious process. So that's all wired up. The only things left to do, obviously I gotta put the intake back on, but we have this condenser here for the AC for the chiller that my friend Blake sent over to me from Texas. So thank you to him for giving me his old condenser. So basically we're just gonna weld tabs off of these bars right here. That's why I haven't painted them yet. And they'll go to these little holes on the side and basically just mount it right where it's at. Then the last thing we gotta do is plumb these. Plumb the catch can, the water system, put a drive shaft in it, brake lines, and I need to get a fan that's going to go in the front of this to help cool it even more. And I've already got that wired in right there on that plug, so all I got to do is hook that up, and this thing should be drivable. So super close here. I'm going to work on welding those tabs on, and I'll check in with you guys periodically. Alrighty, so we got 2 of the 4 tabs welded on here, or more just tacked on. So those are just tacked to those 2 tubes, and then I just used a piece of the bar stock I was using and slipped it under just so that it's not rubbing and has a slight gap. Now I'm just going to take 2 more of these here, and I think these ones I'm going to go in the front with, so that way it kind of keeps it off of the core support here, and basically weld those right there at the top. That way I can use it as a mounting hole for this secondary headlight mount right here. Pretty sturdy as is, but I mean, it never hurts to just have one more mounting point there. Should make it a little bit stronger. So I can punch some holes through those and mount that as well. But got this one already made up. I gotta cut one for the other side and then tack them on, and then we'll run a bead across of them and they should be good. Alrighty, little update. Pulled the headlights out so we could get to those top ones. Everything is welded in there real quick. I'm probably gonna pull the radiator out real quick, take the condenser off, throw a weld on the back side, and then paint those black because they are fully good now to be painted. And yeah, that should pretty much finish up everything. Now we just gotta plumb it, so I'm gonna pull that and get those painted up real quick. Alrighty, we just got it painted up here. Looks super nice, just covered up that. I laid another blanket over the bash bar so I could paint from the back. But everything is blacked out. So yeah, basically just gotta put it back together at this point and plumb everything. But gotta get all the stuff to plumb it. Thank you guys for watching the video. Like, subscribe, and comment. Hopefully in the next video we'll be able to start this thing up again and run some coolant in it and fix some tuning problems. So anyway, see you guys on the next one.